I've been asked to comment on the very complicated issue of immigration. It's a cliche that America is a nation of immigrants, not in the sense that the phrase has become meaningless, but because it's so true that people rarely think of it or evaluate it. I want it to remain that way. The US, in accordance with international norms, must always welcome refugees. But that doesn't mean our government shouldn't control our borders to protect the interests of people already here. If you really listen to our minority communities, you'll find that many oppose illegal immigration because it's a threat to their economic progress. Cesar Chavez opposed illegal immigration, and if you watched the AfroSynergy channel on YouTube, you'll find its host opposes it as well. Large corporations love undocumented immigration because it provides them with a large pool of workers who are afraid to unionize or complain to government authorities about low pay, wage theft, or safety concerns. It's often claimed that immigrants, and particularly undocumented immigrants, take jobs that US workers don't want. The truth is, they take jobs at wage levels and under safety conditions unacceptable to US citizens and permanent residents. My recommendations are that we first secure our borders and eliminate current undocumented entry. Second, we must restrict legal entry to those who will be economically secure long term. No temporary work for visas. Corporations that want to sponsor a new immigrant employee must be required to document that no US citizen or permanent resident with the skills to do the work is available to fill that job at any price, not just the price that they want to pay. Individual sponsors must guarantee that the immigrant will not become eligible for welfare or unemployment and must be financially capable of keeping those guarantees. Third, both corporate and individual sponsors must be subject to penalties if the immigrant applies for government assistance, not the immigrant. Fourth, once an immigrant is permitted and attains permanent resident status, his or her entire immediate family should also be admitted. Fifth, when undocumented immigrants and their employers are discovered, we must enforce with justice and humanity. The employer must be dealt with severely enough to discourage future such behavior. The immigrant's status must be evaluated based on many criteria, such as ties to the community, the length of residency, age at entry, language skills, status of spouse and children, and whether an immediate family member present legally might be forced to seek government assistance if the immigrant is deported. Temporary work visas, such as H-1B visas, have been devastating for skilled workers. Thousands of skilled engineers, programmers, and others have been laid off and unable to find work at commensurate pay. In many cases, after the temporary workers are trained, they return to the home country and become part of the offshoring problem. Unskilled temporary workers tend to contribute to the instability of local society and culture. Temporary work visas are also harmful to families left behind in the country of origin. This is why I oppose temporary work visas such as H-1B and H-2A.